All right. So I don't know how to mute you guys.
I'll mute myself.
Okay. So yeah, awesome. All right. Well, here we go. And I see Michelle on here. Hey, Michelle.
Hi.
Hi. And we have Rita too. So I'm going to get started because it's already 7:02 and we only have 30 minutes. So I'm going to jump right in. I want to welcome you ladies. Thank you for being here. And gratitude isn't a tool to use. So I came up with this idea to do this call because November, Thanksgiving, and just all of the blessings that I have in my life and just feeling gratitude. And I said, why not? Let me do this call. So just now I was talking to Rita off air, and I told her that I just did my first Facebook Live. And, you know, my goal for 2017 is to feel uncomfortable as much as possible. And that was definitely it. So it doesn't matter how many times I interview people for my radio show or on a recording, I still get a little nervous going live. And even this call now, like live, this is live. So I love it. And it's the camera thing because I do live on my radio show all the time and not that much of a big deal. So for those of you who didn't see my Facebook, I went live for the first time and announced this training call. So like I said, November inspired me to do this call. And so now for the next 30 minutes, ladies, take this time to do you. That means find a comfy spot to listen to this call from. Get your tea, your coffee, or even your wine ready and by your side. Have some lit candles there and even some meditation music in the background. That always helps too. Shut off your phones and close out those tabs on your computer. Just be here with me, and I promise you will get more from this call if you have set yourself up in this kind of surrounding. I call this my sacred space. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this later on in the call. It's somewhere that I can get away from everything and just be with myself and whatever I'm listening to. And I even have my journal next to me. So for those that are on the recording, pause the call right now. And if you need to set up your space, then go ahead. Don't worry. I will be right here waiting for you. And if you're listening live, well, stay right there because we only have 30 minutes. So just a reminder, if you are on live, if you could just mute yourself, that would help me out a lot. All right. So let me introduce myself. Hi, I am Denise Dominguez, and I am a women's empowerment coach. I help women get out of their shit and help move them through the process to get to who they really are. I help women create a life that they love and adore, as I have done for myself. I coach women on resolving unhealthy relationships so that they can live a life of freedom, joy, and abundance. I help women embrace who they are so they can be free to create the results they desire in business, life, and relationships. I host a radio show on Blog Talk Radio called It's Your Turn Radio, and I am a speaker and soon to be international speaker. I'm excited about that. Canada, first stop. But, you know, life wasn't always this amazing for me. In fact, there was a time when I would cry myself to sleep nearly every night because I was so unhappy with my life. You know, after 22 years of being in a very toxic marriage, I decided it was time to leave. I left and moved 3 states away with no job. I manifested $10,000 to leave Florida, and that's not including the money that I spent in Colorado for 10 days on vacation right before I came here to North Carolina. I did this in only 5 months. I made a plan and followed it and did everything I set out to do. So I became an empowerment coach after knowing I wanted to help women get out of that stuck space that they're in, like I was. And it's been my focus and goal ever since. So I want to tell a little story about my first time choosing me, which is the key to having everything. Once you start choosing you, things start to shift and move. So, like I said, in Florida, I was married and in this toxic relationship for so long, and I was always putting everybody before me, the kids, him, the family, this, that, and Denise was way, way, way on the back burner. And this opportunity came to me where I was offered by my daughter. She was like, hey, Mom, random, that's who we are. Let's fly out to Colorado and drive from Colorado back down to Florida. Well, obviously, the first thought that I was thinking was, there's no way. I can't do that. I am saving money for moving to North Carolina. Like I said, I didn't have a job. So I needed every penny. And that was my first thought. And then my second thought was, okay, Denise, everything that you do is always for everybody else, and you're always making excuses of why you can't do something, and now you're letting money get in the way, and that's just an excuse. So in that moment, I decided to choose me, and I said yes. I said yes, and I booked the ticket to Colorado, and my daughter and I flew out to Colorado, and we ended up staying 10 days. So there really wasn't no time limit in the beginning because we were driving back. So we ended up staying 10 days, and holy crap, what an amazing journey that was. What an amazing trip that was. I could write a whole book on that 10 days. It was so beautiful. I'd never been to Colorado before. I got to see Colorado for the first time, which is an amazing state. If you've never been there, go there. And I experienced so much. And I tell this story all the time because it was the first time that I chose me and put myself as a priority and did what I wanted to do. So I just wanted to give you that little background story so that you can know that it's about choosing you. So my credentials. Let's talk about how I can help you and why. As I described, I wasn't always living this kind of life. There were many nights that I cried myself to sleep because I was so unhappy with my life and the way it was going. I would never think of being grateful. I was always complaining of what was going on, or not having enough money, or my relationships with the people around me. I was always complaining about something. This was what I come from. This was what I knew. And so how can I help you? How I can help you is by showing where I was in life and how I crawled out of that crap and where I am now. Living a happy life, having healthy relationships around me, setting healthy boundaries, and saying yes and no with ease. I am not that same girl I was 5 years ago, just 5 years ago. Amazing. So let me give you some cliff notes of my story. I want you to really feel the energy of where I was in order to see how and why I am here today. My divorce story is real, and I describe it as a train wreck. It has all the ingredients of a Lifetime movie. So not only was there a divorce, but there was mental illness, suicide attempts, anger, love, passion, and a string of emotions along the way. And it was through my painful divorce that I built my coaching business. Through my mistakes, through my struggles, and ultimately through my triumphs, I am now helping women all over the world with their stories. Through my coaching, online interview series, radio show, books, and speaking, I am able to help these women heal themselves and their past stories in order for them to create a life that they now love and adore. But I had to do the work on me first in order for me to truly be able to help others. And one of the first things I did, one of the first things that I had to do was look inward and put the focus on me. So there's so many times that I remember thinking of how can I fix him? What can I do to save our marriage? What can I do to save our family? And once I do that, everything will be fine. And it was always looking outward, 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 and trying to fix these outside things. And I never looked inside of me. So choosing you. Again, it's about choosing you. So let's dive in, because we only have 30 minutes. And I want to give you as much as possible in the next 30 minutes. So what is gratitude? Well, Google says the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. Here's how I view gratitude. Gratitude is a feeling. You go into what you are grateful for. And this can be anything that you feel the feeling of gratitude. So let me give you an example. About 2 weeks ago, I was driving in the mountains all by myself. I shut off the radio and just looked up at the gorgeous view I was seeing and thought, my life is fucking amazing. I am able to see the beautiful trees and mountains. I'm able to drive up here to take this class. I was taking a class up in Asheville, North Carolina, and I was just really being with myself and just really feeling the feeling of how amazing my life is. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I've come a long way, but what I'm driving in the mountains is my Toyota Corolla. But I love my car, and it's a brand new car. So I'm grateful for that. So I could choose to complain about I have a Toyota Corolla instead of a Lexus or a Camry, or I can choose to be totally grateful and happy for the car that I have, which I am. And then I went into, a total feeling of how amazing my life is compared to what it was, and how far I've come in such a short amount of time. And feeling that gratitude has so much to do with it. And so as I'm driving in the mountains, and as I'm looking at the beautiful trees, and as I'm talking to myself and thinking how wonderful my life is, and just that I have the sight to see this, that I'm able to drive, that I'm in my car, that I have the ability to take a class 4.5 hours away, to help myself with my coaching business, to hear the sounds and just everything, just feeling so grateful. And then I went a little bit deeper into my feeling grateful and more into like the relationships that I have around me now versus where I was before. My relationship with my son is back on track. My relationship with my guy, I finally have a healthy relationship with somebody. I'm finally in a healthy relationship. Who knew? So I started to tear up, and I started to really almost cry. The feeling that I was feeling, my heart was just so open because I was just really in this space of gratitude. So gratitude isn't a tool that I use to get into a zone. It's what I am. That is a quote by Kyle Cease. Don't use gratitude as a tool that you use to get what you want from life. Money, whatever. Instead, you want to feel gratitude and be grateful because it is in you. And we were not genetically programmed to be this way. This is a practice. So be patient with yourself. And this is something that I talk about all the time because where I come from is where you come from. We all come from the same place. We were all raised with the same money doesn't grow on trees and all those things. And you know what? This is a practice. So be patient with yourself. This is a practice that I have trained myself to do and feel. I remember way back when Oprah was on 4 p.m. every day, long time ago. And she was telling someone to write down 5 things that they were grateful for every day. And the 5 things need to be different every day. And I remember thinking, what? I couldn't do that. But I tried it. And at first, it was weird, different, but I kept going. And now I can not only do this, I can seriously think of like 20 different things each night that I'm grateful for. But now I can teach this to others. So what I'm saying here is just try it and stay with it. You will get the hang of it and you will start to feel grateful for what you have, and that vibration bounces back to you every time. Gratitude is a great energy shifter. We're going to talk about that energy because that's really important. Gratitude is a great energy shifter. So the law of gratitude, you must unlearn what you have been programmed to believe since birth. That software no longer serves you. If you want to live a life, if you want to live in a world where all things are possible. And that's a quote by Jacqueline Purcell. Gratitude is a vibration energy that can change your life. The more you feel gratitude, the more you will have to be grateful for. That's my quote, I think. So gratitude is good for allowing celebration of the present. So the importance of being in the present moment, let's just go there for a second, because we are always on the fast track. We are always, I'm guilty of it too. I will be like, for example, trying, put this together, and I click into another tab and I check my Facebook or I check my email. So it's about being in the present moment. And that is so important. That's why when I do these calls or when I get on a private call with my clients, I always tell them, don't take any notes. Be with me. Be in the present moment. I will email you a summary. I will email you your homework. You don't need to do anything, but just be here with me. So I just wanted to give you that note on being in the present moment. So we can't change the past, and we don't know what the future holds. And that's why it's called the present. And all we have is this moment right here, right now. I use my situations in the past, and now I use them as lessons, not only to me, but to others that I know will need to hear what I went through, how I got out of that situation, and where I am now. So even now when I go through things, I totally have that attitude of this is going to be something that I'm going to be able to use later on. In fact, speaking of Facebook, I hear it clicking, and I'm sure you do too. So gratitude is good for blocking toxic emotions, i.e. envy, resentment, depression, regret. If I ever wanted to embrace a block, this one would be it. Gratitude is good for you are more stress resilient. Feeling gratitude for the now is what you want. How many of you know of someone, or maybe you yourself have done this, thought of what you had and felt grateful for it, what you had, past tense, but it's gone. It's in the past. And you should have been grateful for it then when you had it and not now. So I have 2 things that are coming to my mind when I think of this. And that is, one is somebody close to me who had a really good job and didn't appreciate it when they had it and complained about it, and then they lost that job. And then when they had another job, it wasn't as good as the other job, so they were all like thankful for the job that they had before and wish they had that job back. But your thoughts become things. So you created this now job that you have. That job that you are grateful for now is gone. And then the other thing that's come into my mind is me, myself. So back in 2006, we had built a house. It was on 10 acres. And I just want to make sure everybody's muted. Oh, I can mute you, I think. Well, for those of you who are on, could you just make sure that you're muted? Because I hear some background noise. And I know the others can hear it too. Okay, thanks. So, where was I? You're more stress resilient. Feeling gratitude for the now is what you want. Okay, so here I was, the house that we built on 10 acres. Okay, we had this gorgeous, like a mini ranch house, right, on 10 acres. And I remember like crying in that house and feeling like I don't like this house because, well, I love the house, but where it was located, I was so far away from my family. I was like far away from the town that we lived in, and I was out in the country for the first time, and it was just like, I just had that energy and that vibration of, I hate it here, I don't want to be here, I want to be back in South Florida. And guess what I got? I got back to South Florida. And so let me just describe you this house. It was a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage on 10 acres. We built it from ground up. We designed it, we built it. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. My kitchen was amazingly big. It had an open floor plan. So where my sink was, there was the countertop, and then I'm looking out into the family room. So when the kids were little, like they could be out there and I could watch them. And then we had this gorgeous seamless bay window that I could see the acreage. It was stunning. And we went from that back to South Florida, back to, I laugh now, but God, I went through so much with this. My mom and dad's 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. Now my mom and dad weren't living there, but still. I was living in the house that I was raised in. I remember being so embarrassed by that. And when people were like, oh, where do you live? I was like, ugh. So my point is that feel grateful for what you have now, right now. And I want to get into that because time just slips on by. Okay, here it is. Perfect. Next. There's always something to be grateful for. So maybe you drive a piece of shit car and you complain about it. Well, at least you have a car and not waiting at the bus stop in the pouring rain. Okay? Maybe you're waiting at the bus stop in the pouring rain to go somewhere. At least you have 2 legs that can get you to that bus stop. You see where I'm going with this? Maybe you hate your job. Well, at least you have a job. Some people have been looking for months and sometimes years can't get a job for whatever reason. Maybe your family is a pain in the ass. At least you have a family that loves you and wants to spend time with you. Maybe your mattress is old and worn out. At least you're not sleeping on a cold floor. So those are just a few examples of being grateful for what you have now and bursting with gratitude. So you don't want to just list some things that you're grateful for. You want to bathe in it. You want your heart to burst open with the feeling of it. So as I was just describing about me driving in the mountains and really like shut off the radio and I was just sitting with it and I was just there to the point where tears were rolling down my face. And I literally felt that my heart just so open to receiving this feeling of gratitude. So that's where you want to be. That's what you want to do. And maybe you don't have to go to that extreme every single day, but it's good every once in a while to go there. Now when I drive my car, if I'm going like a distance, I don't play the radio. I sit with my thoughts. I make sure that I'm thinking of all positive things and I go there. So here's something from the book, The Secret. I'm sure you've heard of that book. Gratitude is a powerful process for shifting your energy and bringing more of what you want into your life. Be grateful for what you already have and you will attract more good things. That's really the point of all this, is to not only feel grateful for what you have, the people around you, and the things you have, but that this is a vibration. This is a frequency, and it's going to bounce right back to you so that you have more. But we're not approaching it in a selfish way. We're approaching it in, I am just so happy and grateful for what I have. The reason people do not have what they want is because they are thinking more about what they don't want than what they do want. So that's the complaining. That's where sometimes, I know for me, I always went to complaining. And again, it's a frequency, it's a vibration, and I was sending that out and I got more of it. So listen to your thoughts and listen to what you're saying. The law is absolute and there are no mistakes. Gratitude will shift you. So gratitude will shift you to a higher frequency. That's where you want to be. That's where the magic happens. And you will attract much better things into your life. That's what this is all about. Shifting your energy to a higher frequency so that you can bring more into your life. Think of the last time you were complaining about something. Let's just go there for a second. Let's think. I'm going to do it too. Okay, I'm there. About something or someone. So you can think of someone that you were complaining about. Okay? Now, how does that feel? It's a low, shitty, right? Now, think of appreciating something or someone in your life. And how does that feel? Feel the shift? That's what we're talking about here. It's a frequency, it's a vibration. The goal is to be in the higher frequency, the higher vibration as much as possible. So we're getting close to 30 minutes. We're going to go a little bit over, but not much. Okay, journal your gratitude. There are so many studies shown about how powerful gratitude is for your happiness and your well-being in your life. Research studies have shown that keeping a 5-minute a day journal, gratitude journal, will increase your long-term well-being more than winning $1 million in the lotto. So I have 2 of my journals here with me. This was probably not my first one. This was from 2009. Okay, so get this. My first entry was 7209, right? You're going to laugh. Okay, 7709. And then my next one was 1311. Yeah, I wasn't really consistent with it. But I've worked through that. There's a reason why. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be this kind of a journal. Now, my new journal that I had this year is my Grateful Heart journal. And each page has, I don't know if you can see it, but it has like a positive affirmation. And then at the top, it has something for you. So this one says, something that inspired me today, ... And then you finish the sentence. Each day is a gift. Today, I am most grateful for ... And then you fill it in. Okay? Where did I get this from? I think Staples or Office Depot. But you can get a great journal on online. And if you can't get a journal, then get a notepad. I mean, the point is to write down what you're grateful for. A gratitude journal. That's the point. Paper. And not type and not speak it. The point is writing it. There's something about the brain and writing it that is more beneficial than to type it out. So here's what I do to journal my gratitude. So I showed you my journal, and then I have like a really comfortable pen that I use and my sacred space. I was talking about that in the beginning of the call. So my sacred space is it's really just a corner in my office, and it has a lamp, and I bought a real comfy chair, and it's my place that I go to read, journal, and listen to calls or whatever. You should have that too. You should have somewhere in your house that is yours for you. All right, so I write down what I'm grateful for before I go to bed. At least 5 things, and different things. It's very powerful and very healing and easier than you may think it is. It is a practice, ladies. It is a practice. So the only way to get into it is to start. So just do it. Start off with just 5 things that you are grateful for. And remember, it doesn't have to be huge. So here's a great example that I always give to when I'm doing teachings is I am grateful for this soft pillow my head lays on every night. It doesn't have to be huge. Just because you may not live in this gorgeous big house doesn't mean that you don't have things to be grateful for. Right? So I would love to do a gratitude challenge. Let me know if you want to join in. We could do a 21-day gratitude journal where we do an entry every single day and we list 5 things that we're grateful for. And we could get a bunch of us together. That would be amazing, right? And if you're ready to start making some huge changes in your life, if you're ready to make 2017 your best year ever, as I am, all you have to do is contact me. So if you're on my email list, all you have to do is hit reply to any email. You have my email, get in touch with me. If you're on social media, you know how to get in touch with me. If you're here, you know how to get in touch with me. I have some exciting things going on for 2017. And actually, I've opened up 10 spots for 90-minute coaching calls. You can jump on that. It's my gift to you. End of the year, 2016. We are in December, so it's my gift to you. Get your 90-minute coaching call. It's absolutely free. I would love to connect with you. I would love to help you to get to where you want to be and help you pull you out of whatever situation you're in. And we're past 30 minutes. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for choosing you. I got to end because it's telling me like, you want to upgrade. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Stephanie, Kate, Rita, and I don't know the other number. It's a 919 number, but whoever you are, thank you for being here. And you will have this as a recording and play it again. Bye.